No woman wants a lover who's boring and vanilla in the bedroom. That's why in today's video, I want to show you 6 fun and kinky things you can try in bed to drive women wild. Most of these are things women secretly want you to try, but are too shy to tell you. But lucky for you, I'm going to spill the secrets that other women won't, so you can give the women you're with the most amazing sexual experiences and get her begging and chasing you for more. So if that sounds good, pay attention and keep watching this video. My name is Marni, and from here on out, I am going to be your very own personal wing girl, and every week I'm going to give you the no BS insider info about what women really want versus what they say they want, plus the most effective methods to win over any woman you like. So just hit that subscribe button now so that you never miss a video. All right, let's get started. Here are 6 kinky things you can try in bed that women will love you for. Number 1, a vibrator. If you're not bringing a vibrator into the bedroom, at least some of the time, you're depriving yourself and your partner of the pleasure, the amazing sex, and mind-melting orgasms, and all the things I often talk about on this channel. Now, I'm not saying that your mouth, your fingers, and your manhood can't get her off. They're absolutely wonderful, and they absolutely can. In fact, if you've watched my other videos related to being awesome in bed, and you're applying even some of the techniques that I talk about, I'm sure you are already doing an incredible job with all of those things. But the truth is, the human body can only go so far. And if you're not using some other tools at your disposal, simple things like a vibrator, you're missing out on some really fun and easy ways of deep, amazing, wild pleasure. Moreover, most women secretly want to, or at least are open to trying a vibrator in bed. Why? Because it's such a powerful way to stimulate her sexual hotspots, including, but not limited to, her clitoris. And as I've said so many times before on this channel, the clitoris is the ultimate hotspot for pleasure. This is why 80% of women claim that they need some sort of clitoral stimulation to climax, and rarely do they finish without it. Secondly, studies show that when women masturbate, most women only stimulate their clitoris, and a very small portion use penetration alone to get themselves off. This data gives you a huge insight into the female orgasm because most women almost always reach the finish line when they masturbate. And this is a major factor in why most women would love to try a vibrator in bed, at least some of the time, not all the time. A vibrator is a device built for this job, and it makes her clit experience intense pleasure at the press of a button. And as incredible as you may be at giving head or fingering her, this tool can always be used to do some of the heavy lifting for you while getting her off at the same time. It makes it easier for everybody. In fact, it can even make it much easier for you to give her multiple back-to-back orgasms, even if you don't use the vibrator every time. Because here's a secret about the female body. It's only the first climax that takes the longest for a woman. Once she has had that first one, she's in an orgasmic state already. So whether you switch to oral or fingering or penetration, after that, it's much easier to make her come again. And it even happens much faster, sometimes within just a couple of minutes. You got to give her a little bit of a break first, but then a couple of minutes. So without too much additional effort, you get to watch her melt into orgasmic bliss over and over again and leave her gasping for breath as she looks at you like you're a sexual god. And you can be over in the corner while she's doing this. This is why the vibrator is such a great tool to have in your arsenal if you want that extra edge in the bedroom. But that brings us to the question, what type of vibrator should you get? Which ones work? Which ones don't work? Well, you're gonna love me for this because I've already done the research for you and found a great deal on what I believe is one of the best vibrators on the market right now. And it comes from today's video sponsor, Lelo. Lelo's Enigma Double Sonic offers a unique double stimulation experience to a woman that most other vibrators do not. The mouth of this device creates a pulsing sensation on her clitoris that's deeply satisfying by itself, but at the same time, its insertable tail targets another pleasure hotspot inside her vagina known as the A-spot. So if you don't know, the A-spot is actually part of the clitoral network that extends into her vagina and is located about 4 inches deep, making it a little difficult to locate and stimulate with just your fingers or your penis. But that is where the double sonic has you covered. This flexible insertable tail precisely hits the A-spot and creates intense pleasure inside the vagina, while the mouth properly stimulates the clitoris on the outside, giving her a powerful mix of sensations that is guaranteed to drive her absolutely wild. In fact, it's because of this double stimulation technology that this device can so consistently make a woman lose control and have her body shaking explosive orgasms. And in my personal opinion, it can be a total game changer in the bedroom because trust me, women are crazy about this vibrator. I know I am. I have tried it. So many of my girlfriends are now, and whoever you use it with will absolutely adore it for you. So if you want to find out more about the Enigma Double Sonic, click the link in the description below and get all the details. Right now, you can get a great deal and save on the Double Sonic, plus get a free 1-year warranty. Just hit the link below to see all the details for this amazing device. It's going to spice up your sex life pretty much immediately. It's Wing Girl approved, it's Marni approved, it's female approved, so give it a try. You'll be glad you did. All right, back to the video now. All right, let's talk about the next thing women would love to try in bed, and that is number 2, a blindfold. Blindfolding her with even just a scarf, a sleep mask, or a tie lying around the bedroom is one of the easiest ways to escalate her senses and amplify her arousal. The second that you take away sight, every single touch of yours feels even more electric. She doesn't know what to expect in that next moment, so it's all like a surprise, and that puts her on the edge, brimming with anticipation. I'd recommend that you start with light touch sensations, such as using the tips of your fingers or tongue to explore her body. Touch her, kiss her, lick her, all over while she has this blindfold on, but moving very slowly from one point to the other, making her wait, teasing her, and keeping her in suspense about what comes next because she can't see you. Remember, there is no rush to any of this. The more you tease her, the more turned on she is going to be. And by the time you get to some of the big moves like oral or penetration, her body will be primed for a big, blissful climax. All right, number 3. Dirty talk. I've talked about this before, but dirty talk is one of the sexiest things you can do in bed. That's because it's kind of taboo and charged with desire, naughty words and phrases that can instantly electrify any encounter with your partner. In fact, just a few passionate words and phrases uttered in the heat of the moment can push her off the edge. So for example, one of the easiest ways to get started with dirty talk is to use any form of praise and appreciation. So you could say things like, "You look so hot from this angle," or "Your skin feels so soft," or "It feels so good to be inside you." You're literally just doing like a play-by-play, or "You smell so delicious right now." Okay, you get the idea. This act of praise and appreciation works really well because female sexuality is a little bit narcissistic, meaning what turns women on the most is the feeling of being wanted and being desired. We spend so much of our lives catering for other people's needs and nurturing others. So when we're in the bedroom, we just want to let loose and feel like we're the center of attention. We want to feel like you want to crave and desire us more than anything. And that's why this is such a great way to start talking dirty. Now, another easy way to incorporate dirty talk is to say what you want to do to her. So things like, "I'm going to make you come so hard." These are things you want to do. "I'm going to kiss every inch of your body." Or, "I can't wait to taste you." Pretty simple stuff, just what you want to do. It's literally just taking things in your head and putting it outside. It's vocalizing your intentions or what you look forward to doing to her. This creates red hot anticipation, which will absolutely drive her crazy. And some women also like being called naughty names in the heat of passion. And you can find this out from women by having conversations before. But that's something, again, as I said, you need to talk about beforehand. Not all women are into the name calling stuff. And the ones who like it may have some limits and preferences. Either way, the bottom line is try some dirty talk in the bedroom. It's a total game changer, and even a little bit can get her soaking and so excited. Number 4, rough sex. It's no secret that the vast majority of women want their man to be a little rough in the bedroom. I'm not talking about any kind of abuse or forcing your partner to do things that they do not want to do. That's not what I'm talking about when I say rough. But in general, most women love the feeling of being manhandled and like moved around. In other words, we want things to be a little bit more aggressive and less vanilla. This could mean that you throw her onto a bed, you hold her down, you spank her, you pull her hair, you grab her waist, you thrust really hard. It could also mean you talk dirty to her, as we discussed. But most importantly, it means that you take charge of things and you take control of her with obvious consent, right? You don't want to treat her like she's super delicate and made of glass. Instead, you want to unleash your inner caveman and ravish her body, show her your desire. Again, with full consent. Number 5, role playing. Role play is an easy way to act out fantasies and spice things up in the bedroom, especially in a long-term relationship. Now I know that it can be nerve-wracking and feel embarrassing for a lot of people, especially the first time that you do it. But if you're able to push yourself out of your comfort zone just once, this can be one of the most fun things you ever try in bed. There are lots of scenarios you can act out with this one. For example, student and teacher, okay? Boss and employee. These are like simple porn ones, right? Strangers meeting for the first time. These are all sort of like fantasies for everybody. Massage therapist and client. That's one I like. Doctor and patient. Hotel maid. The list goes on. Use your imagination. The important thing is that you have an open conversation about this with the woman in your life, with your partner, in a confident and casual manner. And it's really easy to discuss. Let's say you're on a date night with her and you're having a nice flirty conversation. You can casually ask her, hey, so I was reading this article about role play the other day and how it can be really fun to try. What are your thoughts on that? That's a great way to gauge her interest, see where she's at, and open up the conversation. If she seems open to it, you can further discuss ideas on what scenarios could be fun to explore. And then you could try it out once just as an experiment. Okay, number 6, the pattern interrupt. Research has shown that the female brain needs variety and novelty to stay engaged in sex over a long-term period. This means if you want to keep your partner interested in you sexually through the entire course of your relationship, you need to break the routine from time to time and try something new. And it doesn't have to be some drastic change. So for example, if you always go from kissing her breast to oral to penetration, maybe one day break the routine and have a more passionate quickie where you make out for a bit, then take off her pants and hike up her skirt and go straight for penetration. Or it could mean that you switch up the location. It's the bedroom isn't the only place to have sex, right? You could do it on the kitchen counter, on the couch, in the shower, in the backseat of your car. Wherever you want, that's different. You could book a hotel room and plan a weekend getaway. If you're on a date night and feeling a little courageous, you could even try sneaking into a restroom to make out or have a quickie. It's kind of hard to have a quickie sometimes in those bathroom stalls, but to just like make out and have fun, switching things up and bring some toys in, like the vibrator that we discussed earlier. You could and should try new positions. If you always do it rough, you could try doing it more slow and having the more sensual approach. You could experiment with different styles of dirty talk, different scenarios of role playing. Everything I mentioned in this video, whatever it is, just make sure to break the routine from time to time. You do not have to do something new every time you get down and dirty. But when you sense that you're doing the same things over and over and over again, throw in a little pattern interrupt. Add some variation to the usual flow of things. And I'm telling you, this will encourage her to do the same thing. Even a little bit of a variation and novelty from time to time will keep women hooked on you sexually. Speaking of which, if you're having trouble getting women hooked in the first place, or the woman you're with is pulling away and losing interest in you, then I recommend you check out my program, The F Formula. And here is why in 60 seconds or less. The F Formula gives you step-by-step copy-paste method to flirt with a woman and create that spark that makes her want to rip your clothes off. It tells you exactly what to say and do to tease out her sexual desires and make her want to act on you, even if she seems completely uninterested right now. There is no guesswork. There is no BS. Everything is laid out in clear, easy steps you can follow right away. What's more, over 40,000 guys just like you have already been using this formula to attract and date beautiful women and even re-attract women who seem to have lost their interest and gone cold. I see no reason why it can't do the same thing for you. So if you're tired of your situation with women right now and you want to turn things around, which of course you do, you can click the link in the description below and check out the F Formula. I have a short video that I made for you where I reveal what this formula is and how it works. So you can see it for yourself right now if you want to click that second link down below. With that said, thank you so much for watching this video today. I hope you found it useful. And as always, I will see you again next week.